How does being an independent contractor provide greater flexibility and autonomy in your practice compared to traditional employment models?
When you're 1099 or independent contractor, you can kind of say, hey, I want to work these days, I don't want to work these days, obviously within the context of your contract. And then it also gives you the flexibility to kind of move around and do other things when you're not in your main job. So essentially you get compensation for amount of time worked. That's basically how we set things up, particularly in anesthesia. So no benefits on that, no restrictions on that really. And so compared to employment, whereas employment, you're pretty well restricted. You know, when you're employed, that employer can tell you a lot of things you can and can't do. They select your benefit plans for you, so you have no choice in that. They tell you what health insurance company you're going to go with. They tell you which 401k provider you're going to go with, how many weeks off you get, that sort of stuff. So you can't take advantage of that as a 1099. And the other benefit of being a 1099 is essentially you're your own company, right? You're your own LLC. And so tax-wise, there's a ton of tax breaks. For instance, your medical malpractice or your licenses for states, those are all tax deductions when you're a 1099, as opposed to just having those handed to you as an employee.
We've touched a little bit about the tax advantages, but how do independent contractors impact the income potential of the anesthesiologists and CRNAs in other ways?
Well, I mean, you keep more of your money, right? It's because you're paying less in taxes. But I think overall, when you look at independent contractor jobs, the absolute amount of money paid is more than a W-2 position. And I think the nice thing about CCI as a company is we have locations all over the country. You know, the biggest deals are your health insurance, your medical malpractice insurance, your professional insurance, and then your retirement. And we tell everybody this that we talk to, get a really good accountant, right? That's the key, is you got to get a really good accountant, because the whole tax code is very complex, and it's more complex as a 1099. Even though it's beneficial, it's more complex as a 1099. So, your accountant's going to handle basically all except the medical malpractice and the health insurance.